Dude, 3 months ago, there was what? Less than 2,000, like 1,800 properties total across the entire Wasatch Front. Last I checked, it was up over 9,000. My name is Perry Dean Ward.
And I'm Aaron Pearson.
And this is Finn. Hey guys, we're Beards on the Street. Today is the 17th, right? Of August?
Or is it the 16th?
I think it's the 17th.
I think it's the 17th.
I'm pretty sure it's the 17th.
It's the 17th.
How dare you doubt me?
My senior got up, I was in the shower, and he left to school for his first day of school without me getting to say bye.
You are a horrible mother.
He does. I feel that, yeah.
Bro, you're supposed to go out. You're supposed to take pictures of them.
Yep, front porch with a plaque.
You're supposed to follow them or drive them to school, and as they're walking off, you jump out, hey, baby, I love you. Embarrass the shit out of them.
I text him, I'm like, did you already go? He goes, yeah. I'm like, dang, dude.
Oh, my gosh,
Well,
dude.
good luck. Have a great day.
Total easy.
Yep. I'll be driving Bella tomorrow, though.
I was going to say, she didn't start today?
No, she starts tomorrow.
Got it.
Yep.
Horrible mother.
No.
How many kids do you have?
I have three. I have a married 24-year-old. I have my 17-year-old who's a senior, and then a 13-year-old 8th grader.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, talk a little bit about Gabe and his football, man.
Yeah. So this season's been really difficult. He a lot of real preparation. He ended the year last year. He was second string, weighed about 210 pounds. Got down to about 200 pounds during the season because of all the activity.
Right.
But over the off season, he's put on 65 pounds. Grew
65?
Grew 2 inches.
So wait, what does that put him at? Like 265, 270, something like that?
Yeah, he's at 265 now.
Dude, that's awesome. But this kid's worked hard, man. This kid is, Aaron's had him in different camps I know of because I ran him down there one time and just, I mean, total dedication to getting ready.
Yeah, so going through spring ball, it was, nerve-wracking for him. He had people always on his tail end trying to take his spot. He had been moved around a little bit, but
Dude, that's perfect. That's what drives you.
Some
kids.
Some kids. It was a lot for him, and he made it to the season. He's starting now as a guard. He just killed it.
Nice.
Yeah, he absolutely killed it.
Yeah, you were saying he didn't even come out of the game until they put in the second stringers at the very end.
Right,
Huh?
right, yeah.
What was the score? I never asked you the score.
42-14.
Oh, geez. So they killed him.
They scored the last one on the second string.
And I read in the paper that that basically they just ground and pounded the crap out of them. They just ran right over top of them, which means that the big boys in the trenches were doing their job.
Yeah, they really were doing well. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What school?
Bingham High School.
And they played Weber.
Yep.
Weber High.
Yep, it's fun watching him come off the field. You get excited for your kids, but he came off and just was, he was puffy, like proud. Just
Dude, that's awesome.
he knew he did it. It was all on him. He battled, won it, and then got to be the dude on the field. So,
Bro, do you know what that did for his confidence?
Uh-huh.
Wow. I'm getting chills again.
Yeah, that's all you want. That's all you want for your kids, huh?
Dude, I so loved watching my boys play football. And my oldest son, Brady, wasn't very tall, but he was an animal on the field. I mean, he'd get knocked down and it was just like one motion. He'd go down and come right back up and just go and cream people. And I'll never forget, there was, they had a live broadcast of a game that he was playing in from used to be called Park City Television. And they ran the whole program like a normal football, like the NFL or whatever. So they had the announcers, or college, they had the announcers there. And the whole pregame, these announcers were throwing my kid completely under the bus.
Yeah.
Talking about his size and what is the coach thinking playing him at, strong side, outside linebacker, and this kid's going to get creamed and blah, 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 blah. I mean, the dudes were talking shit the entire time. By the end of the game, they had nothing but positive praises to say about this kid, and he ended up winning the MVP of the game. And I mean, dude, this kid was an animal. It was fun to really watch him play football.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I miss it. Now it's on to the grandkids if they play. Nowadays, it's more soccer and baseball, I guess. Or,
Yeah. Any music going on this week?
dude, so like I said on the last episode, man, I went back out to Sandy Amphitheater on Friday night and saw, can't remember their name, but I'll get back to it.
Yeah. I'm trying to. You told me as well. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Whiskey Myers.
Whiskey Myers. But
Jesus.
is there anything coming up this week at all? Like that you got?
Yes, I've got actually a bunch of concerts coming up. Buddy Guy, who's one of my favorites, I've actually got him tattooed on my arm, he's coming with John Hyatt up at Red Butte's going to be
Wow.
so good. And I mean, Buddy's freak, dude. He's in his 80s. So, got Keb Mo coming with Melissa Etheridge. And I'm telling you, the only other concert that I'd been to previously at the Sandy Amphitheater was to see Melissa Etheridge, and she was amazing.
Wow.
So, I mean, she's awesome. So I've got that coming up. I've got, man, there's so many that, but I am going on a little vacay at the end of the month.
Yeah, you told me about it. Where are you on?
Cabo San Lucas.
Cabo San Lucas.
Man, I love Cabo.
Heck yeah.
And yes, it's an all-inclusive place we're staying, so they're going to lose money.
That's funny. I don't know. Last time I was there, I was getting. I swear to you, they were cutting tequila with water. So you get a tequila shot. It's like milky, weird. Doesn't quite taste full.
Well,
but you drink enough of those will work.
What you have to do is you have to pick out the best bartenders and tip them really well, and then they start grabbing shit from the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
The stuff that's underneath. Oh, Finn sees something. What do you see, Finn? Killer dog. No.
Well, Dean, I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about, really discuss with you what we've seen, where the market's been shifting with inventory. One of the biggest things over the last, a lot of the buzzwords, a lot of the conversation that's been going on over the last few months and even a couple of years is just how low the inventory's been, which is what's really driven prices, driven our market, that kind of thing.
Yeah, economics, supply and demand.
What are you seeing?
Say it again.
What are you seeing?
I mean, dude, 3 months ago there was what? Less than 2,000, like 1,800 properties total across the entire Wasatch Front. Last I checked, it was up over 9,000.
Yeah, and that's that sounds like a big hike. That sounds like a big flipper variation, but
It's not.
The conversation, at least in our side of things, at the industry wise, that's a normal inventory. It gives an opportunity for someone to actually go do some shopping,
Right.
look at a few things, and take some time.
Have
to
some
make
time.
make a decision. Gone are the days where you made 30 offers and you were just happy that you got a house. It wasn't the house you wanted. You just wanted an offer. So.
Well, I'll tell you, Aaron, the one of the really good things that I like about this whole correction in the market is that the cream rises to the top. We were in such a crazy market that, any agent could just get a client and go out and they didn't even have to work for it. They just basically showed a couple places, wrote offers, and wham, bam, and you're done. And what I really am digging is, because you and I both, we love our job. We love doing what we do, and we want to be the very best at what we do. But unfortunately, that's not the same for everybody that's out there. And what I'm digging right now is that because it's harder now and you actually have to work to make your money, it's kind of weeding out the ones that don't want to.
I've watched a lot of moving around on some of the
Oh, yeah.
in the real estate community, people moving offices, kind of reevaluating things altogether. Just
Yeah, like big moves.
big moves. Yeah, a lot of people coming to C21, which I think's a make sense thing.
So do I. I mean, as I said, I was pretty apprehensive to move from Windermere over to here because I love Windermere. They're a fantastic, top-notch program. Grady over there is a real forward-thinking young guy that I mean, he got it, and I just absolutely loved being at that brokerage. So when we made the move over here, I was nervous.
Yeah.
So, but it's been fantastic. I mean, it was a great move. Partnering up with you was one of the best things I've ever done.
I agree.
You know, George here is just like Grady. He's very forward thinking, very in tune with all the people. I mean, we've done this many times. You can call him up and get on his schedule and go and sit down with him and just ask questions and find out. You know, the guy's a genius when it comes to real estate.
Flat out, absolutely. Kind of what I also wanted to discuss. We've both got investor clients.
Yep.
And
Want to be.
want to be investors. Yeah, and we've seen that there was a while where you couldn't really. I mean, you had to go find them off market a lot of times to really make
Oh,
an
yeah.
opportunity happen. I'm sitting with 8 different properties right now that are, you know, have AR after repair values that spread anywhere from, you know, you can make a couple $100,000 up to. There's one in here that I think could make $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a fun opportunity. There's deals out there now.
There are
There are deals out there in the market
that are on the MLS.
and the market's moved a little bit, but you know, there's still opportunity. I mean, if you do it right and you build a good
Hi,
product,
Melissa.
you build a good product, and you know what, you can make some money in the investment market now. So, if anybody's looking to do anything like that, you know, obviously talk to us directly, but we're going to start kind of featuring some of that as well as some of the projects that we're seeing, some of the opportunities we're seeing, and just giving ideas for everybody.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
What would that journey look like for like a want-to-be investor, someone who's just getting in the game? Like, break it down for us.
Well, we got to kind of find out what we do to obviously get into investing. We have resources. We have contractors. We have obviously
Finance.
the finance side, but we have hard money finance. So just really it's, I guess, sitting down with us and just talking about what your situation is, the type of cash you have. A lot of times what you have to bring to the table yourself will be the investment money, so the improvement costs to the property. And we can line out all the rest of it. We have the contractors, we have the money that you can acquire the property up front, and then you just come to the table, do the work, manage that, and then we can help market it afterwards.
Exactly. So they get top dollar.
There is a lot more to it than that.
That's a simplified version for
That's
sure.
absolutely the mile high overview, but there are those opportunities out there.
Yeah, there are. You know, my brother from another mother is also an appraiser, and but he does a lot of flips with his wife, and man, I've learned so much from that cat. He gets it. He's been doing it for as long as I've known him, and it's amazing. But what it comes down to it's in my opinion it's just all about the numbers. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. You know, when you get the financing side of it, and of course there's costs for that financing side of it, and then you got to have the money to do the build out, and then, you know, of course you got to counter in for commissions to resell it, and I mean on and on and on. So.
Well, we can walk through the entire process of it, but help you evaluate the deal, make sure it's the right kind of opportunity for you.
Absolutely.
And
help you find the right property.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a big deal. So if any of you out there have an interest or you know, even questions, just call us. We'd love to chat with you about it. You know, I want to do a real quick shout out. I said hi to Melissa. You know, I freaking love this lady. She was one of my preferred lenders, and she recently found out she had breast cancer, and I hadn't seen her for a minute, and I was at the Blues Festival, and she walked by me. She has no hair because of her treatments, and I turned around and looked at her, and I'm just like, what in the heck? Dude, I mean, one of the sweetest, nicest, coolest, most genuine people I've ever known.
That is awesome.
So shout out to you, Melissa. I'm in your court, and I love you.
Awesome.
What do you got for us?
How about we, what do you got from you, Aaron? How we go through?
Yeah, you got anything? Hey, Eugene, how you doing, brother?
I don't know if we need to go through, or if we would go
Jim?
through anything specifically, but I would just say, again, if there is an interest, or if you're even on the fence of looking to buy, we've actually had a couple really cool opportunities. Builders basically offering incentives to help buy down your rate. We're able to help get people into properties and still get these amazing long-term rates. So guys, there's now more inventory to shop for and actually look at. I think it's actually, as a buyer right now, is one of the better times I'm finding.
I was just going to say, what you're saying is it's a fantastic time to buy
Absolutely.
or sell. I mean, prices are still very, very solid and very, still up there. The market's just correcting a little bit. It can't just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. It has to plateau at some point, and that's where we're at.
These are properties listings you have in front of you? What makes them good to buy? Like why?
So just what I did is I went into a specific area, and I have an idea of where values. So this comes with experience, but just at a glance, this is an area. It's East Mill Creek, basically. It's over off 30th South and just 26 East, and it's a small home, but it's completely dilapidated. It's under $400,000, and a home like that, I think could probably
you could
go
go
as
in
high
there.
as $750,000 or $800,000.
Well, it's like I said, it's got a 2-car garage already. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a massive positive on a 1,100 square foot house.
yeah, and it's
It's
got
just
some
potential. Holy cow.
decent acreage and area, and
And the area is fantastic.
being as small as it is, I mean, you can afford to go basically do the windows, do the full exterior, put in some landscaping. You'll still be in such a great position on this property that, I mean, this one's home run all the way.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Typically, what you look at is kind of and this is again based on experience and whatnot, but you're able to, if you can find it at about 40% off of what the future or ARV, and that's after repair value. It'll give you the space to be able to go in and do those improvements, and then turn around and actually sell the property and really enjoy a profit on the property.
So switching gears a little tiny bit. I don't know if you've been watching, but they're in the monsoon season down in southern Utah. So literally it's going to be hotter here in Salt Lake today than it is in St. George today.
Wow.
And those poor real estate agents down there can't keep up because all the dirt's washing away. I mean, they literally have flooding going on that is insane.
I remember 10 or 15 years ago where, the flash floods and the neighborhoods washed away. Do you remember that?
Yeah, when the whole river.
Yeah.
I actually sold a house down that was on that river.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know what? Have you ever been to Lake Powell and had a flash flood come through?
I've had the waves that are as tall as the boat. Yeah.
Dude. So back in the day, I just had this smaller boat, and we would go to Bullfrog and we'd motor out to Hanson's Canyon, and you'd go clear up in the canyon. There was this great beach. I mean, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
But back then it was pretty consistent. And I don't remember how many people, but I'd made multiple trips back and forth to the dock to bring people out, and a ton of people were camping on the beach and the whole bit. This freaking storm rolled in that God was pissed. And he let us have it.
Dang.
I mean, the water flowing off of the rocks,
Yeah.
tents blowing down the beach with all their stuff in it, landing out in the water. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
So by the time this storm was done, it was over. I mean, we were done. And middle of the night, so I had to pile all these people and all this wet gear in my boat. My boat wouldn't even get up on a plane.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was dark. And I had a spotlight that I would find the buoy in the channel, and I would drive to the buoy, and then I'd look and try to find the other buoy.
Wow.
And just made my way back just slowly and surely. By the time I got back to the dock, I was so fatigued and just so out of it. I literally loaded my boat on. I pulled it up. I parked it. Didn't even get off the ramp. Threw all the wet shit out of my boat and went to bed. The next morning, knock, knock. It's the fish cops. Dude, you can't park here. Really? Yeah, it was.
Worst storm I ever had down there. It was like two in the night. I was there with the whole family. My dad's outside freaking out, and
They're scary.
well, I go out there. The wind's blowing. The entire houseboat was being pushed onto the beach, but it had our ski boat in between it.
Oh yeah,
So it was
just munching
It
it.
was munching it, pushing it up. So we get out there. My dad's in the water in his garments.
He's not gonna, and that's pointless.
He's out there trying to hold the boat, screaming for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, it was not fun.
So, tell you one more really quick thing that happened at Pal. I mean, I'm a big boat guy, as you know. I love boating, and I had a 72-foot houseboat that I was part owner on. And if you're familiar with Waweep and the Bullfrog, I was over on Waweep and Antelope Point. I was over at Waweep, and I was on the dock that was, so basically there was water in between me and the fuel dock. And these houseboats, dude, it's not just to turn the key and you're up and running. There's a whole process you have to go through to start those boats. Mm-hmm. So we had a wind kicking, and I mean, it's when even a 10 mile an hour wind down there on those houseboats, it's like insane.
Yeah, it's a sail. It's really grabbing you
Yep.
and pulling you.
So anyways, I get the motors running. I'm ready to rock and roll. I tell them to throw the lines, and sure as enough, as soon as they threw the lines, it died.
Oh no.
So my houseboat, 72-footer, is blowing straight for the fuel dock, and there's this dude in this little boat tied off at the fuel dock filling up his boat.
Get out.
No, dude, listen to this. So I'm panicking, but I'm not panicking. I'm going through the process to get the motor started back up, right? As I'm getting closer and closer. And this idiot is in his boat, sees me coming, is in his boat sitting with his feet out like he's going to stop this 72-foot freaking houseboat with
my
his
gosh.
feet. I mean, it would have killed him.
Yeah. Holy
It would have
cow.
squished him because, I mean, I was clicking. So I finally got one of the motors up and just slammed it into reverse, and dude literally went.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
Crazy.
it was crazy. Some people, they just, I know they panic and they're like, oh no, don't run over my boat, but dude, move.
I think everybody knows if you go to PAL, you got to plan on. I mean,
Contingencies.
You're gonna plan on something going down.
Yep. Oh, happens all the time. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way crazy. But yeah, I need to get you up on the boat, and we need to go just hang out. I love going up to Pineview, just out to the Spring Cove. Mm-hmm. Like I was up there for the 4th of July, and literally, bud, I drove my boat from the dock over to Spring Cove on Friday, and didn't move until Monday.
Dang.
Because we just tie off, and I
Yeah.
mean, you just have a good time and soak up the sun and
Yeah, heck yeah.
have a few fresh bevies or more.
Right.
Well, buddy, I'm looking forward to doing this whole program with you. I think the first one turned out really good. I've actually had quite a few people come up to me and tell me that, dude, I watched you, man. It was awesome. So hopefully it'll pick up and kick on, and we'll try to make sure we have good content for you. I guess if nothing else, we'll just sit here and bullshit, and you guys can listen to it. What do you think?
Awesome, man. Let's keep doing it.
By the way, Finn's here, the mascot. He's our guest again today. He's probably wanting to bark at the guy out doing the lawn out there. All right, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.
On the next week.
On to next week. We'll see you next Wednesday, sometime between 8 and 8:30.
How about a CTA? If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, follow us, guys. We got the luxury agency. That's our team. And then, of course, myself and Aaron. And check us out on YouTube. Check us out over on our Facebook channel. And we actually just, our same photographer, we just shot for our American Dream TV episode Can't even wait to see how this one turns out. We got some great footage, and that's coming really, really soon too. And the big guy's on there now with us, so yeah, keep looking out for that. That as soon as they get it edited and put up, I'll share it with everybody. And we post those on our YouTube channel and all of these as well. So, all right,
Sure, appreciate you watching, guys. See you guys next week.
see you next week.